You're listening to Creatives Prevail, unraveling the stories of creative professionals.
Hello everyone and welcome to Creatives Prevail. I'm your host Mike Zimmerlich, and my next guests are Karoline and Monty from the Polish pop-punk band CF98. In this interview, we discuss communication between band members and respecting changing priorities, as well as finding your audience beyond your hometown. We also dive into the making of their newest single, Hate My Life, and their upcoming album, Stupid Punk, which was produced completely virtually. Let's get into it. Hey Carolina, how are you? And hi Betty, how are you?
Great, man.
How
are you, Mike?
Hello.
Good. And I do apologize. It's Karoline, right? Like I do apologize. So it's
okay,
Karoline and Matty,
don't worry.
right?
It's like
okay.
Absolutely fine. Karoline, Karolina, Karo. You can call me however you want. Really, it doesn't matter.
You know, I appreciate that, but also I know how it's one of those things out of respect, because for myself, for example, some people ask me like, do you go by Mike or Michael, things like that too, and so forth. So we can go back and forth on either way, and I'm like, yeah, whatever is easier for you is totally fine. You can
exactly.
Call me either which way, so forth.
I always love
I
always love the pronunciation of Karoline, so that's why you can call me today Karoline. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, really? I actually like I like the native pronunciation, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it's quite wonderful. So being in the US, right, you get so used to those, so when we hear something a little bit different, it just, to me, it gets a lot more interesting, a lot more exciting for that.
But I think if you hear Michael, you're in trouble, right?
Yes, very much so. So yes, Michael is usually reserved for like significant others or like family members usually.
Michael?
But if
exactly, or some serious conversations.
It's the same over the word, It's like your full name is true. Like you're in trouble if you're like, hear your full name.
This is very, very true. Unfortunately, I was a very well-behaved child, so I usually didn't hear that too often. But usually when I do, usually that means, okay, there's something serious that's going down right now. So, but either of you two had nicknames growing up?
I have the same nickname when I was like 10.
Wow.
And the nickname is Delma, and Delma is actually like a brand of like butter or margarine, so it's like very like yellowish kind of like cartoon persona. So I still have the same, so over like almost 30 years. So
wow.
And mine was probably Karcia, which I think is even more difficult to pronounce. But some of my friends still use it, but some don't. So it's like I never had like a super like a sticky, nickname. So Karcia or Karoline today, please.
Yeah,
because I hear Karoline all the time, like this is so typical. I'm so used to it. So it's like, for me, it's like sounds exotic when you say Karoline.
See, for me, it's the complete opposite. That sounds so bland on my end for that reason. My last name, though, like usually my nickname would come from my last name. My last name is Zimmerlich or Zimmerlich, if for the get to a little bit on the German side of things. Okay. So you can imagine, especially in America, where that can go. But anyways, so Karoline, I noticed that it's funny because in the latest single, which we'll definitely be talking quite a bit about, you mentioned about putting the song Fat Lip from Sum 41 on repeat. So like, was that like the first pop punk song that you ever heard, or like were you into, like, by that point, were you like were you stuck in the scene at that point in time?
I think this was probably one of the first songs. Except for that, there was for sure Avril Lavigne, Blink-182, because I think that was a starting point for lots of teenagers at that time. But I remember having this specific connection with those songs, pop punk songs especially, because that's when I knew that this is a genre for me. Like someone created this genre for me, because it's like 100% my personality, my approach, my attitude, my energy. Melodies where you can sing but still being like super, I don't know, upset about something or loud about something. So that fit just perfectly, with all those songs from that time. But yeah, I think this was definitely one of the first songs I heard, like, whoa, this is it. I just discovered my entire direction in my life, to be honest. So that was it.
Did you know that you wanted to be in music up until that point, or was that the point where you realized I want to actually I actually want to perform music. I actually want to make music.
Oh man, since I was a child, I was performing in my room, all the songs to the deodorant, like old or hairbrush. I remember that exactly. So I'm not gonna lie, I just knew that I'm gonna be somehow in the music world when I grow up. So I just knew from the beginning that I will sing for sure. I just knew that I wanted to have a band. I wanted to be a part of something, a part of the band. Maybe when I was just little kid, I didn't know like which direction, which genre I will go. I will discover that with Psalm 41, obviously. But since I was a child, I just knew that music is like absolutely like top of my priorities and my dreams and my direction and my thing.
First was breathing, the second was music.
I think so. Yeah. Sorry. Like this is like really typical, probably, but it is what it is. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It was like my dream and my thing from the beginning. I knew it. I just knew it that like I love to sing everywhere, anytime, and it was just my thing.
And what about you, Mati?
Yeah, I tried to sing many times, even yesterday, and it's still not my thing, And when you're like younger, and especially if you have like a like brother-in-law or cousins, so you met a lot of people which have like an influence for you. So I really started with the metal bands, like really heavy shit, at the beginning because of my cousin, and then I moved to like a Polish very bad punk rock, and it was like evolving. I found about Nirvana, I found about Offspring, all the bands like from 1994 and stuff like that. And the easiest part was always like grabbing guitar and try to find where is the chords, watching like Basket Case on MTV, how he's doing this shit, and stuff like that. So I never been in the music school, and Carolina was in the music school, so and she always like give me
Yeah, I
the
bring it for fun when he
yeah.
doesn't hear something what I can hear. I'm always bringing that up, of course.
Yeah, and it was. I think if you're like younger, if you have like the teenage angst, especially, and you want like express yourself, if you can like draw or you cannot sing, the next one is gonna be instrument, So it was like it's easier to have like melodies on the guitar than having like stuff on the drums, and was easier to get it. So,
Yeah.
but it's
Wow.
it was a long time ago and still going. So
Yeah.
And it's interesting too, right? Everyone I discovered learns differently. So some want to go and want to have the experience of going to music school, and that has helped them and to help them progress their career, and some they prefer to be self-taught or just literally throw themselves into the fire and just kind of see what happens. And that's what I find very fascinating is the fact that everyone's journey is going to be a little bit different as far as how they resonate on how they like to learn, or what ultimately works for them on being able to absorb information and get the motivation and desire to practice at it too.
Yeah. I was definitely into rock music, but when I went to the musical school, I had no idea that pop punk or skate punk or melodic punk rock will be like my top one priority in life. Actually, this is also kind of a funny story. Um, and I think maybe I had this exact moment in my mind when I was trying to write the lyrics for Hate My Life song, because that's one of the best examples. Um, I really wanted to sing. Since I was a child, I knew I want to sing. So in my hometown, which was small town in Poland, there were not so many options to play the instrument or to go to learn the instrument. So my parents, when they heard about that I want to sing, they signed me up for playing a flute. So this is the instrument where you cannot absolutely sing and play in the same time. So after 4 years, I dropped it because I knew that I love like playing this instrument. That was so fun. I was playing in orchestra, like really exotic times. That was awesome, really. It gave me so many like a musical background, to be honest. But I just knew I want to sing, and this is one of the examples of the instruments you cannot sing and play in the same time. So I just knew that it's not gonna work. But of course, yeah, that was like one of the moments, like you want something in your life, you get it something different, and you cannot say anything about it. You just have to live with it, and sometimes you just need to accept it and see, where it goes. So yeah, that's great experience for me. That was a great time to be there, but I had to drop it because that was not possible to sing with flute. So thank you, Mati, for bringing that up.
Would love to see you with trombone.
No, okay, let's just don't go anywhere from here.
I was a trumpet player, so I get it. So
okay, 5, cool. That's so now we know.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. So we're going to then jump ahead here. So, of course, now you're getting into singing, of course, and starting your own projects and so forth. I do want to jump up to one of your albums, Storymakers, which was released in 2017. So can you give me essentially like a picture or snapshot of where you're at this point in time and how you approached that particular album?
I think the most important information about this year and this record is that we just knew that this is high time for us, and this is like the best moment to come back to the roots and come back to pop punk, melodic hardcore at that time, because this record also had some melodic hardcore songs and influences, skate punk and melodic punk rock. So I think after 2 records in Polish, which never fit me, to be honest. I really prefer to write songs and write the lyrics in English. It's so much easier and it sounds better for me. Nothing against Polish songs, but there are so many Polish great artists who can sing in Polish, and that's absolutely amazing. But it didn't work for me. It never worked for me, to be honest. And that's why this album is very crucial for us, because we finally, after making records which were more rock, with more rock experience and more rock influences, Polish lyrics, we decided, let's just go back to what we do the best, what we feel it's right, what we feel the best. Let's just go back and make skate punk, pop
Great
punk.
again.
Yeah. Let's make ourselves great again. So basically, this was our decision and this was our turning point, and that's how Storymakers was created. We just really thought that this is the better direction for us.
And I joined the band just before.
And just before that, you joined the band, exactly.
And how can you tell me a little bit more of that story? How that happened? How you joined the band?
The thing is, like, I knew the band from the beginning, like from the early beginning. We actually met in 2004.
He was talking shit about our band, CF98. And we were talking shit about his band because he was jealous. Well, I thought he was jealous. He thought I was jealous, so we were talking shit, So after a couple of years of talking shit,
that's why we are together,
Yeah, that's eventually we talked, and it turned out that I think we asked Mati to support us on the guitar because we had some at that time festivals to play, some bigger stages, and some opening acts for some bands, which we really felt that it's gonna work a lot better if we have 2 guitars. And we asked him to support us. He did, and after that he joined our band because it was like it was naturally, he also wanted to play that music. He also like saw that we are putting like I am putting so much heart into it, and I really treat it seriously. It's not like a weekend hobby for me, but I just really want to be better at this. So yeah, that's how Mati joined basically. After like checking him out at some couple of shows, we let him in.
Yeah.
You adopted him into
Exactly.
the band.
Yeah, and all of the
He was
bands
accepted.
that I used to play, they were like with this band, so
Yeah,
this is how it goes.
his actually his hardcore band disbanded. Um, I think year before that or 2 years before that, something
year
like this.
before.
So he was missing playing music a lot. So when I was at that point, I was bringing home some rehearsal recordings, from the new songs or some drafts or something like this. He was like, yeah, play me, show me what you got there. No, I'm just
Because
I just want to see like where it goes, and yeah, play me. Okay, good.
because the drummer from my hardcore band joined them,
Yeah, but
so it was
it's
like a lot of stuff going
yeah,
on.
but
Like
it's complicated
Mhm.
story. We don't want to like take like 2 hours, guys, of your time.
Yeah.
So let's just keep it there. So basically, he joined like before that
I joined
records.
to help the songs.
Exactly, Mati. So then he joined our band, and that's how story makers basically to make long story short written.
I'm sure all the musicians and artists that are listening out there right now are like, oh yeah, no, it's never a simple story. It's always, oh, they were in
Yeah.
this band, and they came together, then formed this band, and then this band disbanded. But you know what? You take with you all these experiences
Yeah.
along the way, and that has helped. Yeah, I'm sure it helped you to this day on all those experiences you had prior with all the different types of projects and so
Yeah.
forth. So I'm curious because I find very interesting the fact that you were far more comfortable with writing in English and shifting the band to that focus, and then also the style of the music also towards, like you said, skate punk, punk kind of sound, which I definitely heard myself. So, but I'm also kind of curious too. What other things did both of you take with you into this project, starting in, let's say, with story makers moving forward? Was there anything else that you essentially took with you that said, okay, we're going to do things in this particular way, we're going to make sure that we're focusing on these aspects of the project moving forward?
We for sure we focus on connecting with people and playing shows, because we found out that this is the crucial part of being in a band. And if you want to grow, you just cannot hide your music in your room and waiting for the savior to help you out, promote your music, put it out, and grab your ass and make you do things. You are the person who is responsible for this, and you are the person who can keep it going. But yeah, I think that was the main point at that time, to be honest. I don't know, what about you, Mati?
Yeah, and the other thing is like because we came back to English, we start to actually try to go abroad from Poland because the scene in Poland was very like hardcore mainly, so it never fits so well. And we were in a couple of the festivals abroad, especially in Germany or Slovenia, and we just found out there is a place for us,
Yeah,
but we need
the
to
place where we belong,
we need to
actually.
try to get there, and slowly but slowly we start to getting like a little bit like going a little bit more abroad.
Yeah, because first thing, pop punk is not a super popular genre in Poland, to be honest. It was always about like a very simple, very harsh, very
Very political.
screamy, political. Maybe we also have political songs, but it's very like full of screaming and like a simple, aggressive punk rock.
Very pissed
It,
stuff.
it it was always like the main genre, and it was always like the main thing. And basically when you were trying to play something with more melodies or more skate punk, something faster but still with melodies, or some more pop punk, you were always like too sweet, too melodic, too something. It was always not enough or too something. So actually we discovered about that time that there is a place for us. There are other people like us abroad who also enjoy this kind of music. We discovered Punk Rock Holiday in Slovenia, one of the greatest festivals in the world, I think. It's like heaven on earth. So we discovered that there are other people like us, there are other bands like us. But also, what I wanted to come back to the question you asked, we also took some respect for people and respect for their priorities, because I think we learned before 2017 that if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. You cannot force other people to have the same priorities as you have. And if someone is not going to be there, you will not force them to be there. Find other people who will be willing to be there, or find other people who will share some of the responsibilities, for example, of being a drummer or being a bass player or being a guitar player, that can give himself like 50%, another person will give 50%, so you've got the full background, full story. But you will not force it. If someone is not feeling this thing called music, and he or she doesn't want to give 100% of themselves, it's not going to work. You will not force them. So I think we've learned how to work with different priorities, that some of the people will never treat our band with the same priority as we do. And we have to respect that, and we have to live with this and find the solutions that will make it work for them and for us. So I think that was the most important lesson we've learned before 2017, before this record was made, and before we started to tour farther, because we started to go abroad. We started to go to other countries, which was not like a couple of hours anymore. It was like 10 hours, 8 hours, 15 hours from Krakow, our kind of hometown right now, because we are not from Krakow originally, but we live here. So I think, yeah, that was the most important thing we've learned, to be honest.
I'm really glad that you brought that up. Thank you, because that is, I like the way that you put it as respect.
I've learned a hard lesson.
And you know what? It's I think a hard lesson for all of us, right? Especially when we put so much care into something, right? That is essentially becomes a part of ourselves. We get so caught up in that moment, and when others are involved in the project, if they're not as involved or seem as motivated or interested,
frustrations start.
Exactly, frustrations start. And it's one of those things you have to understand, that just because you are at this level of motivation doesn't necessarily guarantee that everyone else is. And you also have to make that decision whether that's okay or not, right? If you have, let's say, a drummer that, let's say they show up on time to rehearsal, they do their best every single time, but then once rehearsal is done, unless they're playing a show, they leave and they don't do anything else, and you're okay with that, that's great. But if you also need band members that are going to be involved in other aspects of the band in addition to performing, well, then that also has to be set. Those expectations need to be set too, and see if the other members are also want to be or are able to be involved at that particular level.
You will never know if you don't speak openly and honestly with other people about it. I know it's like not the easiest conversation, but it needs to be done. It needs to be done, because otherwise there will be frustrations, there will be lots of arguments and bad blood, to be honest.
And the other thing too is priorities change.
Yeah.
So maybe when they first joined the project, they were 100% on board, but life happens. Maybe they, they had a child. Maybe they, had a job that they just got. Maybe they required to move, right? Or maybe it's just simply that they just don't feel as interested or as inspired or motivated as they did when they first started.
Exactly.
Who knows? Maybe there's something that happened in their life. Like, there is an infinite number of possibilities of why their priorities are going to change, and that's also why it's important to have those kind of check-ins, if you will. Like, oh, where's everyone at right now?
Yeah.
Like, how is everyone feeling? Especially before you're like going on right before a tour or going, or releasing an album or even a single for that matter, is making sure everyone's still on the same page.
But you know what? Also, I feel like through all those years, I can say that we never had like a super luck about the drummers. We played with so many great drummers, but I think also skate punk and playing shows, skate punk shows, a little bit destroy them, to be honest, because even if they were like a super great drummer, super prepared, like motivated, enthusiastic about it, after a couple of years, guys, you know what? I will probably go to like make beats or something like this because I'm just tired, you know. Like I'm done. Like I don't want to do it anymore. I love you guys, but I don't want to be a drummer anymore.
It's just
So
physically demanding.
it's just physically demanding. So
Yep.
you know, also people change, and as you said, priorities change, and you know, within like 20 something years, you cannot have the same group of friends you used to have. You know. It's not possible. It's not possible. Maybe you will stay like with one or two best friends from 20 years ago, but like it's not like the whole bunch will survive 20 years later. I don't think there are stories like this. Maybe there are some exceptions, but you know,
Just in
I
movies.
just in movies, like teenage movies, like or something like this. Yeah.
I will say this. I'm very fortunate that I have one of my closest friends I've known since I was 3 years old,
Oh,
and I'm still
you're
friends with him
lucky.
today. So yeah, I know how rare that is, and I still have some friends that I'm still like in contact with for over 20 years now that I've known them. So,
Nice.
but it's a very rare. But I know how rare and special that is, because you are correct that people will change. People have priorities and things like that too, and I will say this too. There's a beauty in that, I find, because it just shows you how precious those relationships that you have are when you are in that moment. And I try to remind myself of that too. Is like when you have something that's working at that point in time, if you have something that you have that camaraderie with everyone, and you're something that you're excited about. And I always hope that it lasts forever, but that's also an unlikely scenario. So I try to remind myself of that moment, especially when you feel so excited about something and feeling excited with that with other people, that just being in that moment of appreciation,
Yeah.
right. Because the fact that, that might change tomorrow, that might change, in a year from now.
And if something is not working out, I know it sounds maybe too confident, but we were so many times at that point that we felt like we are not gonna find another drummer, or we are not gonna find a bass player, and we found it, and we found him or her. So you will find another drummer, and you will find another bass player, and you will find another guitar player. Just really don't give up and move on, because sometimes it's better to seek for that person that fits and is so like excited as you are, rather than being for the next couple of years with people in a band who are just don't give a shit, or
taking you down,
or taking or bringing you down, basically. So yeah, I think right now we are so lucky to have so many friends playing with us, and I also think that we created some kind of environment, technical possibilities as well, that people really want to play with us. So that's really cool. That's really cool, because I never thought that it would happen, to be honest. So yeah, I think that was a process. We learned our lessons. We like took the best out of it, and I think it worked out really. But it was a process. It didn't like happen within one night and 1 week.
I'll also point out too about the importance of, especially when you're going on touring, right? When you're on tour, right? You are with these people, like you mentioned, 10, 18-hour trips.
Yeah.
Right, to get to a location. I mean, you have. I mean, I've heard stories myself from the bands that I've managed over the years. I mean, you really have to have that connection with people to withstand being in a vehicle for that long.
Yeah, of course. But if
drives.
you have this kind of personality that you can, I don't know how to call it, but if you've got this special part of your personality which is not seeking problems all the time and not seeking troubles and so on, I think is much easier. But right now, at this point, to be honest, completely, me and Mati, we are behaving like tour managers on tour. If we are on tour, we are behaving as tour managers for other band members and for us, because we know that we need to make sure that people sleep, people eat, people drink water, people take a rest, people have time off. I don't know, taking a picture, taking a walk, or something like this. And when we implemented this actually on tour, things started to work out, to be honest. Nobody's frustrated, nobody's tired, nobody's yelling, nobody's like getting drunk all the time. Because when you are on tour, drinking is not like number one option, to be honest. If you have like 10, 9, 8 shows in a row, it's not gonna happen if you are fucking wasted all every night. So yeah, oh my gosh, so many lessons learned. So we could.
And there is no problems. There's just situations, that you need to like solve out.
Oh, I like that.
Oh.
I like that. There's situations. I like to say challenges. But
Yeah.
yes, like same
Yeah, and the other
challenges,
thing,
right?
I think there was so many times that if you have, like Carolina said, this part of your brain, and if you turn it to a joke, oh, look at this stage, the meme that you have like a plywood on the floor. Oh, that's the stage. It's like, yeah, this is the stage, so what? No, if you have like right approach, especially thinking, what I'm thinking is like going abroad and going, especially in Europe, it's like you never know. You can like think what you're gonna have in the next stop, but you never know. To be honest.
You have to just treat it as a process, part of the process, not like, taking everything too seriously, but just taking as a part of the process.
Yeah, and we always talk about the things that we need to achieve and stuff like that, but we always remember we're doing that for fun at first.
Mhm.
It's like we not it's not we don't treat it like a career per se, but it's more like we're doing that because we love to do it. We love to connect with people, we love to play music, we do it that for fun. Everything else is like a part of getting there, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I do want to talk about. We're gonna now jump ahead to your most recent material. So
Yeah.
I'd definitely love to talk more about "Hate My Life" because I we're talking about right before we jumped on the interview. Like I've been listening to that song on repeat. It's a bop. Like I gotta say, like I
Thank you.
love it so much. So can you talk a little bit more about the single?
Oh my gosh, this song is definitely the one to, put your windows down in the car and drive and sing along and be really loud in the car. Yeah, Hate My Life is our fourth single out of our upcoming album. It's gonna be out in October. It's called Stupid Punk, but the song Hate My Life, it's super special for us because we have this tendency to be sometimes a little bit dead inside, or we have this tendency to have enough sometimes. Which it's like a total on the contrary, because we are super life lovers. We are absolutely, most of the times, because you cannot be like 100% of the time, but most of the times we are positive people, super PMA, or enthusiastic, moving forward, not thinking about failures, or don't not overthinking ups and downs, and processing this like all the time. So we try to learn the lesson and move on. So but in every life, in every time, you just sometimes you just feel tired, sick and tired, and you just have enough. And sometimes life plays tricks on you, and if you treat it too seriously, it's not going to work out. So that's what Hate My Life is about, to be honest, about this moment in the life where you still try to be better person, you still try to be better friend, better band member, better musician, better human, but sometimes just fail because you are tired and you are in the chain of this bad luck. So this is absolutely life loving soul song called Hate My Life. That's how this is how I like to describe it. Yeah.
I particularly also like the music video too because I feel a lot of that explanation you also put into visuals through the music video itself.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a little even more cringy that it turned out. But yeah, we wanted to implement so many like stupid situations where you fell into the pool, or you just drop your mic because you didn't catch it after flipping this, or not everything is in the music video actually, because we had so many other stupid stunts there recorded. But yeah, basically this is about how bad luck happens and how stunts happen, and sometimes life doesn't work the way you want it or you plan it, and you have to just live with it. And if you just treat it too seriously, you're not gonna be okay.
So this single, then of course leading up to Stupid Punk, that's going to be released very shortly here. Can you talk more about, essentially coming full circle now, the difference between your approach to Storymaker's album back in 2017 in comparison to essentially 8 years later
Yeah.
to now? And is there a different approach, or you're like, oh no, we got this down and this is how we're going to do things, or are there some things that you did a little bit differently with this particular album?
This album is different than we ever did. We have
Different
whatever we
from
did.
everything. Different from everything we've ever done.
First
to be
of all,
honest.
this record, and especially for anybody who is in the band, we produced this record via Zoom sessions online with the guy from US, and we
Wow.
record everything at our house.
Yeah.
So you can do
That's
it.
incredible.
And the producer name is Pete Zangerle, and we were absolutely stoked and mind blown by producing this album with him. It took, oh my gosh, couple of months of producing and recording. Was last winter and spring especially. We knew that we had a deadline because in May we had 10 shows to play, so we just knew that we have to get the things done before May starts. But in the meantime, let's start there. In the meantime, there was also This Is Fine record, which we also produced with Ishai Berger from Useless ID, but he came over for a weekend, and actually we had the songs ready, and we kind of corrected those songs, produced those
Tweak it a little
songs
bit.
during like four days during the weekend. So at that time we thought that this is producing, so we didn't know that what is going to happen next. So Storymakers was not produced at all. Basically we were our own producers. We just wrote the album at our rehearsal space. There was like 5 of us, and it just was written at the rehearsal space. There were no corrections, no like checking if the vibe is okay, if the kick drum is playing with the bass, or the melody is fine, or the melody is like not over complicated, or the pronunciation maybe is not there, or the melodies or the harmonies are the best ones. So that was basically intuition, and that's how we felt in our guts. That's how it's supposed to be done. But we have this tendency, especially me and Mati, because we are the main songwriters in our band. Well, the only ones songwriters in our band. But we have this tendency to overcomplicate stuff. I put too many words into the songs, too many lyrics. Sometimes do you know the term riff salad?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That
So
sounds familiar.
if you put too many riffs into one song, like the part after the part, the part goes into another part. There are 30 different parts of the songs. There's not like a clear verse, chorus, pre-chorus, or bridge, or some other parts, but there's like 30 other parts. This is called riff salad, and we had this tendency to complicate our lives, to put so many salads and riffs and melodies and vocals and lyrics there, that Pete was the first person actually who said, okay guys, you need to calm down. Let's make things simple, because right now you don't have to prove yourself all the time that you can sing and you can play guitar. Let's just put you in the position that you don't have to prove yourself, that you belong here, and you don't have to prove your place, your spot, but let's just have fun and create the songs that you will enjoy playing live and people will enjoy singing along with you. And that's what worked out, to be honest, because we can see absolutely difference when people even don't know us at the shows. We see absolute difference between reacting to our older songs, where if you listen to, I don't know, even from our EP Dead Inside, there's like a Dead Inside or Oh Boy, uh, they're like the rhythm changes like probably 15 times. You should check that out to see. So people are like still vibing to it, but kind of like a, let's say 30%. But when the new songs drop, like 1993 or Find Your Own Way or Nobody Wants to Party, is like crazy as fuck party. So absolutely happy that we believed Pete and we trusted him. And sometimes producing, we discovered that producing with him was really making things more simple, and to tell us this is not okay, this is shitty. No, he never said something was shitty. We can do better than this, and we created something better than this. So that was awesome experience, absolutely mind-blowing, and I can't wait for the next time.
That is a very wise producer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very wise. And you're right.
Very good looking as well.
It's the simplicity, right? And I like to say it's like sometimes simplicity through complexity, where it may be simple, but it took a lot of thought behind and a lot of intention behind doing something that is simple. But that's the whole thing, right? It's like people want something that they can sing along to, they can, vibe out to and so forth. And yeah, some people also want, I mean, Maddie, you mentioned yourself coming from a metal background. Like there are others that want that like insane riffs and so forth too. There's a place for all of it. And so your producer, as you obviously was definitely right on the money on that one, is that, trying to keep things very straightforward. And again, I feel like also the way that he presented it too, of that you didn't necessarily have to prove yourself, brings your guard down a little bit to have some fun, to experiment and to do those type of things. Because I think that's the other thing too, right? Is I feel like you have something to, if you have that expectation, something to prove. To be perfectly honest, when you are in that way, you're just proving to other musicians, and technically that's not who your core audience is. It's the fans. It's the fans that grew up with Sum 41.
That's what my point.
All those other bands.
That was my point. That making songs a little bit more simple. It doesn't mean that they are stupid or there is one note in the melody of the vocal, or there is like a, I don't know, very simple chords which from 100 other songs. It's just sometimes creating simple stuff or simple melody is the most difficult task, actually. To overcomplicate stuff, to put like 100 melodies to cover that up is sometimes easiest. And sometimes, this putting things simple, it's like the most difficult thing to do, to be honest. So yeah, we learned a lesson. It was really exciting.
One of my favorite memes is the memes that go around about how do you call millennials, and it's where they play like the beginning of certain like emo or pop punk songs, like where, or even just like the first note from Welcome, one note from from My Chem, Welcome to the Black Parade, right?
We wrote a song about it because 1993, our first single out of our upcoming album, is about the millennials, which.
Oh really? Yeah, I was listening to it before too. Yeah,
this is like no resting generation. We try to prove ourselves. I am millennial, also a girl who was always trying to prove my place in punk rock community. I have to prove that I can sing. I can, I deserve to be here. I deserve to be in a band. I'm like a full-time member of this band. So yeah, I used to be like that, and I didn't want that to continue for the rest of my life. So yeah.
Well, we can start wrapping things up here. I do have a couple of fun questions for both of you.
Okay, cool. So let's do it.
Let's see. Maria, I'm going to start with you first, actually, on this one.
Let's go.
What's the very first concert that you ever been to?
You don't know any of this band, but it was a punk band. It was like two punk bands. Then I was like 16. It was like the first show that I went, with my friends, and it was like two local bands which actually disband after like a couple of years, and I did a different band with them as well. So it was like
So basically, you don't remember the first show was punk show.
yeah, it was a punk show. Yeah.
Cool. I'll take it. Karoline, how about you?
Oh, me? Okay.
Oh, let's
I
go!
thought
Yeah.
I thought I'm gonna have a different question.
No.
Actually,
No, I'm gonna swap the same questions between the two.
I think I was also 16, and that was a rock show, not punk show. Unfortunately, it was a rock show in another city, and I lied my mom, telling her that I'm going to visit my friend. But actually, I took a train to this other city, and I remember not like I remember leaving the venue like before the show ended because I had to catch the train. But it was like my first rock Polish musical love. The band called Hey. In Polish people will probably know this band. So yeah, that was the first experience. But basically, it's more about like lying to my mom and taking a train in secret. So that was the. I never told
It's a very
her.
punk
I can't
way
tell
of.
her because I never told her about it.
Get on the rock show.
Secret safe here, right?
Yeah. She doesn't speak English, so I hope that we are safe here.
Yeah, we're safe. It's probably the most punk way of your first concert ever. Do you, Caroline? I'll pass this to you then first. Do you have a current band that you're listening to right now?
Oh, so many bands. I recently played Modern Life is War because there is a new record from those guys. I didn't finish it, so I just started. I also kind of discovered South Arcade from UK, which is kind of like a also pop punk electronical stuff, which I'm really cool songs. I listened to Neck Deep recently and the new song of State Champs, and I think
Nice.
also on repeat new Hayley Williams, which is my
Nice.
ultimate love. Paramore and Hayley Williams music is like my number one top priority in my life. So I'm just raping the replay button all the time. So that's the recent music. Glam. Oh my gosh. Mati?
I just found out a really cool band from Australia called Down and Out. It's very cool stuff. The new Belmont EP is quite nice as well. I try to be like on time right now with the like all like playlists, because you can find so many like cool bands, and the worst part is like you need to be on this playlist to listen to the new bands because you're not gonna find it anywhere else. So yeah, so basically there's three for the last couple of days. It's my go-to right now.
Okay, Betsy, I'm gonna start with you. Then, Caroline, I'll let you wrap things up here. If you were only able, I mean, we talked about a lot of advice, a lot of lessons learned over the years, which have been incredible. But if you were only able to give one piece of advice to a fellow musician, what would that one piece of advice be?
You want to start?
That was question for me.
Yes, of course. That I respect that. So that's why I asked if you want to start.
unless one of you needs some more time.
Because of that, I want to say be patient.
I knew it. That's why I wanted to start. No, actually.
Can I?
Yeah, sure. Let's.
Yeah, be patient. That's the first thing. Then you need to learn that. Nothing comes for free. That's the one thing. And the other thing is like if you're gonna work yourself out, there's gonna be one day that's gonna be better than before. It's
one
just
day's gonna work out.
Yeah, it just take time. It's nothing like nobody will tell you like a golden receipt for something. If you want to do something, you need to be super patient and stubborn to do it. That's it.
I would say a lot of things because we are
just one.
You didn't say one. You said
I
like
said
three.
One.
Okay.
I said like similar words.
For sure, like, don't trust people who can tell you that they will save you and they will, make your music more popular, or they will help you, or they will do something for you. I think the hardest lesson is that you are the only one person who can do for your passion the most of the things. So you are responsible for that. You are the musician, you are the band member, so you are responsible for promoting your music. Number one person is you. So don't rely on other people, don't trust other people. Of course, there are so many supportive people around us. I don't want it to sound like we are just like two of us, of course not, but we also had so many people who basically we trusted the wrong people. There were a couple of people like this who promised us that they will do like so many great things. No, number one person who can do most of the great stuff for your band and for your music is you. Second thing, persistence and consistency. I think also being patient, but consistency, showing up every day trying to write something, even if it's small, every day trying to post something on social medias, or every other day, every second day, but be on social media and promoting your songs also is very, very crucial right now. Nobody will know about your amazing music if you don't post about it. Unfortunately, we have to move on, accept the reality and move on. We cannot just remember the old good times when there were big labels and bands were discovered and some salary. No, those times are in the movies. We moved on and we have to accept the new reality. It's not going back there. Um, Also, there are no shortcuts, as Mati said. Basically, you have to learn your way, be patient, work every day. um, Sometimes even if it's a couple of days, for us is like another job which we don't get paid for because it's our passion. But after our daily jobs we have another job which is a couple of hours, making music, writing songs, posting on social medias, sending emails regarding some shows, or making some graphics, making the videos. We are right now in the middle of editing the video for our next single. We are doing like this DIY this time. So there are every day there are things to be done. Yeah, so I think that's it, like consistency, be responsible for your passion and be the one who understands it the most, and be responsible for pushing it forward, to be honest,
I
because nobody's gonna do things for you. Nobody.
I need to add one advice for
I can add a couple of more actually.
Go ahead. We
Never-
could. Yeah, go ahead.
never ask your best friends how they like your music. Never.
Yeah, that's
That's a
also
good one,
something
too.
very interesting. I've
Because
also
even
learned
if you're gonna
yeah.
put up shitty music, they always say it's cool, it's great. Never ask your friends.
Or they will say it's okay,
Yeah.
but after when you post like super awesome music, they will also say it's okay, because they are not your fans. Your friends are not your fans usually. They can be your supporters, they can be your best friends, but they are not your fans, so they will not be absolutely excited as you are. So don't like request them to be, or demand them to be once. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
we are done with the
We are done.
advices.
Jesus, I can go on, actually.
Those are all good, though.
Start
your
It's
podcast.
well worth
I
it.
can, I can start my podcast as well.
There you go. Hey, I know somebody who has a podcast.
Yeah,
that
but
can help,
but really through consistency, because actually we are trying to promote our own music this year, especially with consistency, with showing up every day. We really see that there is improvement, and that we can see like the journey that it's still ongoing. So this is really, really awesome. More people know about our music right now, and this is really, really great for us to
Well, I'm so
yeah.
sorry. I just want to say I'm so excited for both of you, and again, amazing advice, and yeah,
Thank
I mean
you.
it's amazing to see. I can as I was looking at your prior records and so forth, how things have grown, and on all different levels, and so excited for everything that you have coming up ahead. And
It's all
thank you
about the
both
journey.
so much.
It's all about the journey,
Yeah.
and we are so stoked to be here still, and so stoked to be uh you know taking this journey all the time. This is so great, really, and we are super excited because we are still getting better we feel that, so that's really, really awesome. Thank you so much for having us. It was amazing to talk to you and to share all of those thoughts in our head, and it was amazing to talk.
Same
So
here.
thank you for
And I'm
having
gonna listen
us.
to Hate My Life next. So, and I'm not joking. I'm probably gonna put that on repeat now again. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was awesome to talk. Really, so many great questions. So conversation, absolutely amazing. That was
Thank you so
exactly the topics we wanted to talk about. A new record, about our history, about relaunching our band. Absolutely, all the topics.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank you so much for listening to Creatives Prevail. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with others or leave us a review. They are an immense help. Now go out there and make something happen.